I've got a knife in here. I've got a knife.
Was that exactly where you got hit?
A local landowner in North Georgia has been dealing with strange animals coming near his house at night, making noises and frightening his family. Because of this, they decided to call Brandon and Braden to look into the situation.
What I wish I could tell you, but it's been going on for probably about 2 weeks now. Well, it started out, we'd hear the dog at the middle of the night, dog barking, you know, and usually if he's barking, he's smelling something outside. We'll run out there, look, nothing, but I don't know, probably 10 days ago, he started barking, and right after that, we heard some knocking on the door. Probably 2 days after that, some rocks were hitting the side of the wall, like where our bedroom is. Just rocks making a banging noise. So, I don't know. I'm hoping you guys can figure it out.
Yeah, well, we'll see what we can find out, huh?
Cool. Yeah, please.
With that, Brandon and Braden began their investigation by carefully checking the property for any strange signs or animal tracks, and they found plenty to look at.
We gotta talk about what that was.
I mean, I don't know what it was, but I just saw just big dark fur, and it took off. There was something on 2 legs, and it was standing on that little island out there.
Was that exactly where you got hit? I think it found us.
It's definitely close. Stay quiet.
I can't see anything, can you?
Oh man, it's pitch black. Hold on, let me go get the knife.
Strange sounds echoed from the nearby wilderness. Brandon and Braden went into the woods to check it out, but found nothing. They decided to head back and go to sleep. However, at 3 a.m., something terrifying happened.
It's been about an hour. We haven't heard anything since. I don't know. Do you think we can just... There's only about an hour and a half till daylight. Do you think we can make it till then?
Just quiet.
Yeah. Let's try and get some sleep, and we can just hike out of here in the morning, you know?
They heard strange noises and howling from the nearby woods. Suddenly, a loud growl came from close to their tent, followed by the sound of something moving toward them. Before they could react, a creature that looked like a gorilla attacked them inside the tent. Terrified, they ran without stopping until they reached Todd's cabin. Some believe the encounter was with Bigfoot because of the creature's gorilla-like look and the howling sounds. Others think it was more than one wild animal, such as black bears that live in the area. Some people believe the whole event may have been a hoax done for attention. Whatever the truth is, their experience is sure to give us nightmares. This unsettling video was recorded by a man camping alone in a mountain forest. He was an experienced camper who had spent many nights outdoors without problems and usually slept well. This night was different. He was woken several times by loud noises coming from nearby bushes. The sounds were strong and disturbing, almost like someone crying out in pain. Shocked, he shone his flashlight outside the tent but saw no one. The darkness made it hard to see anything. He eventually lay back down, hoping the noises would end. Soon after, he heard a humming sound outside the tent. That's when he grabbed his night vision camera and began recording. What it captured badly shook him. It's unclear what the man did next, or if he chose to leave the area. The video ends without any clear answers. What would you have done in that situation? Share your thoughts. Back in April 2017, a YouTuber named Rodri posted a video of a turkey hunt that went south fast. He and two buddies were out on public land, tucked away behind some logs to stay hidden while they tried to call some birds in. Everything seemed normal until things got terrifyingly real. Another hunter in the area ended up firing a shot right toward their spot. It was a super close call that nearly ended in tragedy. The moment the shot rang out from the fence line, the guys jumped up, waving and shouting to show they were hunters. But the damage was already done. One of them had been hit. Luckily, he caught a huge break. He could still move and talk, and he even managed to walk away from the spot. It looks like he was only hit by a few stray shotgun pellets that probably bounced off a tree first, keeping the injuries minor instead of life-threatening. As for why the other hunter even fired, it's hard to say for sure, but since the trio was decked out in camo and making turkey calls from the ground, the other guy likely mistook them for actual birds. He fired recklessly without double-checking his target. Honestly, they're lucky the shot came from so far away. It could have ended way worse. The man behind the channel, Dead Appalachia, grew up in the region and focuses on separating real Appalachian life from online myths. In this video, he decided to do something on purpose that many people warn against. He broke the so-called rules often shared online, like whistling at night, leaving curtains open, walking into the woods after dark, and calling out into the forest. His goal was not to summon anything, but to see if these rules actually caused real problems or if they had been exaggerated over time. To test this, he and his wife rented a remote off-grid cabin deep in the Appalachian woods of eastern Ohio. There were no nearby neighbors, no street lights, and no quick way to get help. Just forest, animals, and silence. The kind of place where ordinary sounds seem louder and travel farther than expected.
God. Oh, my freaking phone. Hopefully you can hear that with the audio turned up. Did y'all hear that rustling? Hello? Any Wendigos out here? Any skinwalkers? I ain't afraid of you. I'm a little afraid.
As the daylight fades, the mood changes. Coyotes can be heard nearby, their calls echoing through the trees. There are sounds of movement along the tree line. It's likely nothing unusual, but it's enough to remind you how open and vulnerable you are once night falls. That night, he begins breaking the so-called rules. The curtains stay open. Whistling is directed into the woods. He walks the trails after dark, doing it on purpose. Not because he believes the stories, but because he wants to see if anything real happens. And then, something does.
The woods around here just look so ominous and creepy and uninviting. It's like whatever is out here does not want you in here.
It wasn't a ghost, but the tension kept building. The coyotes became louder and seemed closer. Sounds echoed oddly across the ridge, but he kept going, even though his instincts told him to turn back to the cabin.
This forest is daunting, to say the least. Did I just see something move? I think it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. We're almost to the top of the hill, I think. Oh, man. That incline. Getting the best of me here. All right. This place looks pretty secluded. We're a decent bit away from the cabin. This is as fine place as any. What got them hooting and hollering last time is the spirit box. Maybe if I run it again, I'll get them to start up again. Let's try that. What the actual hell? I think it's about time I head back to the cabin. What the actual hell was that? The spirit box was working fine just a minute ago, getting regular radio signals. Is that normal? I'm sure there's some much more experienced paranormal investigators who have used spirit boxes frequently. Is that normal? For it to make that god-awful sounds? That has set my nerves right on edge. I don't like it.
The spirit box, which even the creator says he doesn't fully understand, starts producing harsh, mechanical sounds that are nothing like normal radio noise. It was enough to make him stop using it completely.
Oh yeah, here. It is, I'm up there.
Did you go by it already?
Yeah, so it goes the cabin, geode house, and then the A-frame. They're kind of up the same path. If you keep looking on the right here, there'll be two signs that say geo house and then A-frame house.
Okay, and the signs are on the right hand side?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All right, thanks.
No problem. You know that A-frame and those other cabins I was talking about? Those fellers were lost and just wanted to try to find where the cabin was that they're supposed to go to. I was worried I had disturbed someone doing all this and gotten someone mad at me, but I reckon we're okay. It's weird they're coming in so late. All right, let's get back inside.
Later, while back at the cabin, his wife says she saw strange lights moving along the ridgeline. They were too high and slow to be cars, and too steady to be flashlights. No clear answer was given, only what was seen. They later left the cabin for a short time to calm down. When they came back, the night stayed quiet. There were no break-ins, no figures at the windows, and nothing dramatic happened. By morning, the takeaway was simple and more realistic than the myths suggest. Appalachia isn't some supernatural place that punishes people for breaking internet rules. It is a remote and unfamiliar area where sounds travel in strange ways, animals move freely, and fear fills in the blanks when it's dark and you feel out of control. Nothing followed them home, nothing attacked them, but the unease was real. Sometimes fear doesn't come from monsters. It comes from realizing how little control you have deep in the woods at night, and how easily stories grow when clear answers are missing. That's what makes videos like this unsettling. A YouTuber from the channel Under the Weather went camping alone in the forested mountains of the Great Glen. Most of his videos show calm trips where nothing strange happens. This time was different. After sunset, he pitched his tent, had a meal, and went to sleep. Later that night, a noise outside the tent suddenly woke him.
Hello? 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 Now the thing is, I'm kind of on an island here, so there's river on that side, river on that side. It's very hard to get down here if it's a human, that is. Hello? Typical, now I can't hear a thing. Right, I'll turn the light off. I've got a knife in here. I've got a knife. I've got a knife.
Odd sounds and growling came from outside his tent. He called out, but no one replied. When he turned off his light, he heard another loud growl. He then stepped outside, and what he saw completely shocked him.
Well, that definitely sounded like somebody there. But there's no one here. Every time I come out, it's empty. Unless I come out the river. I don't even think. No, because as I said, I'm basically on an island, so there's no way that anyone could actually get it. Jesus Christ! Hello? 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 Jesus Christ! That.
He heard another strange noise, this time much closer. He went back into his tent and slept while holding a knife. When he woke up the next morning, everything looked normal. There were no tracks and no signs that anyone or anything had been there. So what was it? Was it an animal moving around his campsite or a person hiding nearby? The mystery is still unsolved. In November 2020, the YouTube channel Bear Air posted some pretty intense footage from Alberta, Canada. Two hikers were just walking along a forest trail when a black bear stepped right out onto the narrow path with them. At first, they tried to keep their cool and see what the bear would do. It didn't charge, but it kept following them at a steady pace, staying way too close for comfort. They teamed up and tried to stand their ground, using firm voices and backing away slowly to get the bear to back off. But the bear wasn't having it. It just kept trailing them and testing their boundaries, refusing to leave them alone.
Let's back away from him. Let him go by.
Yeah.
I'll smash him in the head with this rock. Hey!
Go on. Go on your way.
Come on. Good.
It'll be your part from now on, okay?
Okay, great.
Yeah?
Look around for a rock. Wait a second. If he hits, I gotta hit him in the head. Back! 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 Get in there. Get away from him.
I can't get around.
I know. We have to do this. Just have to keep doing this. Back!
We got nothing.
Not make eye contact. No eye contact.
pair did their best to look big and act confident, setting some boundaries. It seemed to work for a second when the bear veered off, but the relief was short-lived. It popped right back out and started its slow-motion chase again. They kept up this routine for several minutes, trying everything to shake the bear, but it just wouldn't take the hint. It stayed locked on them, shadowing their every move at a range that was way too close for comfort.
It's not that far back, actually. Go away. But get ready to hit him in the head. We're gonna have to knock him out. Jesus. Atta boy. Show us how you do it. Good boy. Good boy. Atta boy. Fuck's sakes, that's cool, buddy boy. You just keep doing that.
You're the man.
That's it, boy. Stay away from me, though. Stay away. Stay away. Okay, keep the other. Make sure. This guy will alert us in a second. Go throw that rock if you have to. It's our lives here. Yeah, look at beware of wildlife. Use at own risk. Holy shit. Hey. Atta boy, big guy.
As the minutes ticked by, the situation got more and more desperate. The bear just wouldn't quit, essentially trapping them on that narrow path and turning the hike into a high-stakes standoff. It even lunged at them a few times, getting terrifyingly close and keeping them on edge. By the 5-minute mark, they were seriously starting to wonder if they'd make it out in one piece. But then, they finally got a lucky break. The bear stopped in its tracks. It wasn't a huge gap, but it was just enough. They seized the moment, bolted down the trail, and ran as fast as they could to finally put some distance between themselves and the bear.
Atta boy, big guy. Beautiful. Atta boy. Atta boy. Atta boy. Atta boy. Atta boy. Atta boy.
Resuming workout. Pause workout.
Holy f***. Take that rock and put it in your garden. Right. Hey, we gotta make a phone call. Holy
Luckily, it worked. The bear either decided not to chase them or gave up pretty quickly because they managed to put enough distance between themselves and the animal to finally get to safety. This video is from Sydney, a US travel vlogger who focuses on van life, car camping, and scenic adventures. Her content usually mixes natural landscapes with local folklore, focusing on the atmosphere rather than making paranormal claims. It's December 28, 2025, in Vermont, and she's traveling through remote roads, a secluded campsite, Millbury Gap, Stowe Village, Cold Hollow Cider Mill, and the Gold Brook Covered Bridge, which is also called Emily's Bridge.
Okay. I think that's what you're supposed to do.
After hitting the cider mill, Sydney keeps driving towards Stowe, filming the wintry woods and quiet streams along the way. During the drive, she brings up a nearby covered bridge that's famous in local lore for being haunted. When she gets to Gold Brook Covered Bridge, she talks about how it was built back in the mid-1800s and shares the legend of a young woman named Emily, who supposedly died there. Sydney mentions the usual stories people tell, like weird noises, random cold spots, and the feeling of being watched, but she makes sure to point out that this is all just folklore, not proven history.
Gold Brook Covered Bridge, built in 1844 near Stowe, Vermont, is often referred to as Emily's Bridge due to a long-standing local legend that it is haunted by the spirit of a young woman named Emily. According to the story, Emily was either abandoned by or waiting for her lover and ultimately took her own life inside the bridge, though no historical records confirm her identity or death. Over the years, the bridge has become known for reports of unexplained scratches on vehicles, disembodied voices, sudden cold sensations, and feelings of being watched, especially after dark. While historians attribute these experiences to the age of the structure, environmental factors, and the power of folklore, the consistency of the accounts has made Gold Brook Covered Bridge one of Vermont's most famous haunted
Sydney pulls up to the bridge and takes a walk through, noting how remote it is and how well the old structure has held up. She chats about why the bridge is so famous, bringing up those stories of people finding weird scratches on their cars or just getting the creeps while visiting. Everything is dead silent, and she's completely alone out there. She doesn't catch anything supernatural on camera, but between the history of the place and the total isolation, the vibe is definitely pretty spooky.
I'm gonna try this again. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Sydney hangs out for a minute just to take it all in before hitting the road again. Nothing strange actually happens, but it really shows how local legends can change the way you see an old, isolated spot like that. After leaving the bridge, she heads through Stowe and on toward New Hampshire. Once she's set up camp, she reflects on Vermont's quiet winter vibes and how these old stories add a cool layer of depth to peaceful places. The whole video skips the fake drama and paranormal evidence, focusing instead on a chill, immersive mix of beautiful scenery and local history. The clip is from Creepy Travels, a US-based YouTube channel that explores unsettling places far off the beaten path. The channel documents real-life trips and overnight stays, focusing on the eerie atmosphere that comes from isolation, unfamiliar landscapes, and unexplained experiences rather than scripted stories. This video was recorded on December 8, 2025 in the Cumberland Plateau, a remote wooded region in the United States where an abandoned private campground has been slowly reclaimed by nature.
I believe somebody screamed as soon as we walked down the trail. Wow.
As the adventurer makes their way down an overgrown trail at dusk, they start setting up a hammock in a quiet, hidden part of the old campground. The place feels empty, with no signs that anyone has been there recently. Then, out of nowhere, a sharp, high-pitched scream cuts through the woods. It lasts only a moment, but is loud enough to break the silence, instantly jolting the adventurer and turning a calm setup into a tense, uneasy start to the night.
Oh, that person about right there in a black shirt walking when I stopped and looked. Oh. These mountains are full of natural caves, and every now and then.
Later that evening, while moving near a rocky bluff, the adventurer briefly sees what looks like a dark-clad figure moving between the trees. The glimpse is quick and unclear, vanishing almost immediately. With no way to confirm it, the moment deepens the feeling of isolation and highlights how limited visibility is in the dense woods.
Oh, now, he was around 60, 58, 60 then, and he don't even know what this stuff is. He don't even have internet. He don't have a phone. He lives in a log cabin. And he described it. And since then, everybody's told him what they thought it was. And he said everybody calls it they got different names. They say a crawler, a skinwalker, or wendigo. But he said it was a human-looking body, but real skinny, stretched out arms, long fingers that was draping over his foot. And he shot his tent up trying to get it, and he said it jumped up and ran back behind the started to shoot the tent. And
the adventurer recounts stories once shared by campers who stayed in the area years ago. They describe strange encounters with a very thin, human-like figure appearing near campsites at night. While treated as secondhand folklore rather than fact, the stories help explain the area's unsettling reputation and make the night feel heavier, even without anything happening directly.
It'd probably be left out here like these. See how quick that is? Telling you, I'm hearing something over there move around. Could be a deer or something, but usually deer or stuff don't give me that dread feeling. I don't know why I have that dread feeling.
While lying in a hammock near a creek, the adventurer wakes up to small noises like branches falling, water moving, and quiet sounds that are hard to figure out. Even though it feels tense at times, nothing bad happens, and the night passes safely. It shows how being alone in remote places, especially ones with abandoned sites and old stories, can feel disturbing even when nothing is actually visible. A man stayed overnight on a 2-acre property by the Allegheny River to decide if he should buy it. The land was steep with poor river access, and he wanted one final look before the deadline. He parked his truck and planned to spend the night there, but after dark, a noise came from the woods.
Absolutely terrified. I'm not lying. Literally, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't know what that was. It literally sounded... Hang on, let me get... I feel like I'm being watched right now. This isn't even funny. I was on the phone. Okay, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to lock these doors. And okay, hang on a second. It sounded like somebody was screaming blood. It sounded like a human. It sounded like a woman was being tortured or beaten. I was on the phone with Jessica and I kept hearing it. And I opened my door and it got more severe. Like it was more blood curdling. And I literally told her as I'm picking up the camera to start recording, I said, let me call you right back. And I opened the door and it was really loud and it sounded really close.
Later, he contacted state police, who searched the area and a nearby cabin, but found nothing. The incident convinced him not to go through with buying the land. The video comes from The Journey is the Destination, a UK-based channel that explores abandoned places and historic sites. The investigations are filmed in real time with very little added commentary and direct spirit communication. This video was recorded on October 6th, 2024, in Stage Pond, United Kingdom, an abandoned stagecoach settlement from the 1800s with a nearby cemetery.
Not 100% sure what's going on. But I mean, even last time as Debbie and I turned our cameras off and we're walking back to the cars, it sounded like something got thrown at us. So it should be an interesting night. I can't wait to see what you all catch. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for smashing that thumbs up. Let's get into this journey, my friends. So this is another one of those 1800s ghost towns. And it was on a stagecoach line, which is how it got its name, Stage Pond. And this road here would have been the main road going into town, and coming out, the stagecoach line would have actually ran out there by the road. And the cemetery was out here. Now, during the winter, when I can actually get back into the woods and stuff, we found a bunch of like mounded up areas where you could tell there was housing foundations. We found a bunch of metal objects and things that were scattered all through there. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get into any of those wooded areas now. I mean, as you can see, this is kind of what the woods look like, but we'll see. This is one of those places that I honestly have been scared of, and I came here during the day, but every time I've come to this cemetery, crazy stuff has happened, so I've been really scared to actually go to the town and see what we find down there. But after hearing those knocks and that kind of stuff, the last time we were here again, it just made me have to come out here and see what's going on.
The investigator enters the Stage Pond Cemetery alone at night, returning to a place where he has had unexplained activity before. He recalls past sounds, tree knocks, and objects being thrown. As he moves through overgrown paths, he explains that Stage Pond was once a stagecoach town in the 1800s and is now mostly abandoned. The area feels uneasy, with subtle sounds around him, and the tension increases as he continues deeper instead of leaving.
Whoa. I just walked into, I mean, holy smokes, my leg hair is standing on end and I have bug spray on. It is ice cold right here. Hello? I thought I just heard somebody say something. Why the hell is it so cold right here? What the heck is going on? Both of my legs are hair standing on end right now. And it's 77 degrees, 76 degrees. Makes me wonder if there's... I haven't used this in a minute, but...
While walking through the cemetery, he suddenly feels a strong, cold sensation around his legs. Even though the weather is mild, his hair stands on end. At the same time, faint voices seem to come from different directions, even though no one else is there.
That was just a gigantic boom noise. This looked like there was a woman standing right there. Holy smokes. That's very interesting to me because, I mean, obviously I'm back here in the woods. There's no power source or anything. And I got goosebumps up and down both of my legs. So to get K2 readings, it seems like somebody might have been murdered on the road into town or out of town, however you want to look at it. And then it looked, however you want to look at it. And then it looked to me like there was a woman standing right here. There's even, look at that. There's even a footprint right here. Holy crap. There's one footprint. There's no other footprints. There is literally one footprint right here.
A loud, unexplained boom echoes through the nearby woods. Right after, he feels like a woman is standing close to him, but when he looks again, no one is there, leaving the moment unanswered.
That I'm maybe not thinking of because I'm out here paranoid alone in the woods. Why there would be one, what looks like woman's shoe print in the ground in a place where I thought I just saw a woman? I mean, I'm here alone tonight. There's nobody here with me. And it seems like there would have been more than one footprint in the sand if somebody had walked through there. Like, what?
He spots a single woman's shoe print in the dirt. There are no other human tracks nearby, only animal prints around it. The lone footprint matches the figure he thought he saw moments earlier.
Can you see that? This is supposed to have 7 bars. It's already down to 3. They've been taking a whole bunch of power from this flashlight. Portal. Is there a portal out at this town? Where is it at? As fast as this flashlight's dying, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to be out here. How much is... Oh, it's a motorcycle. Oh my god, that scared me at first. Morris, are you still with me?
Harmony.
I hear
Battle.
you in battle? Were you part of the Civil War skirmishes? Yeah, all my lights are dying all of a sudden. Like, I can't see a damn thing out here. And I know there's...
His flashlights drain unusually fast, and he hears footsteps and movement coming from different directions. During communication attempts, there are references to young deaths and past conflict. Soon after, objects are thrown nearby, causing him to retreat. With equipment failing and activity escalating, he leaves the site, left deeply unsettled by what happened. The video is from Mondadocs, a documentary-styled channel that explores paranormal and historical locations. Their approach is calm and observational, focusing on real history and real-time reactions without added drama. This footage was recorded on October 6, 2020 at Triangular Field in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, USA.
We're at the Triangular Field right now at night. Jenny's pretty excited wherever she is. Can't find her. That's okay. I'll be fine by myself. It's okay. Anyway, let's go down this field and see what we can find at night in the most haunted area of Gettysburg. Let's go. All right, ready? Oh, Jesus, watch out for the... Looks like he's spraining an ankle. Could get the stone wall right here. So we are at the top right of the triangle. Let me turn this up a little bit. 1 second. Here we go.
Lawrence and Jenny reached Triangular Field after dark, sticking to the paths and tree lines they had checked out earlier in the day. The ground is rough, with stone walls, big rocks, and thick vegetation along the edges of the field. The area is close to Devil's Den, a spot already known for a lot of paranormal reports. Everything feels calm and quiet. Lawrence talks about the history of the field, explaining that it saw heavy casualties during the Battle of Gettysburg and has long been linked to stories of phantom soldiers and strange, unexplained feelings.
I thought I heard something. So is there anyone here with us right now that wants to communicate using this device? Is it okay that we hang out here for a little bit?
I really don't feel like anything's even here.
Yeah?
Which is odd considering everyone says this is like the most haunted thing.
Yeah. If anyone's here and you want to say hi or even bye, you can let us know.
I can turn my flashlight off. Please don't make the batteries die, but you can turn them off.
Do you have a name? Or are you at peace here? Are you a Confederate or a Yankee?
As they approach the stone wall, Lawrence pauses after thinking he hears a faint, unusual sound that does not repeat and shows no visible source. The moment passes quickly, and they sit beside the wall to begin a spirit box session, where Lawrence asks if any spirits are present, at peace, or connected to the battle. But no clear or intelligible responses are heard, and the session remains quiet.
Devil's Den, also one of the most haunted spots in Gettysburg. And fun story about the hill that's next to it. It's called Little Round Top. And back in the 1950s, there's a story about these politicians, I think they're state or local politicians, who went up the hill. And they were looking down at Devil's Den or around that general area. That's the path right here we found before earlier. And it was at night. And they were looking down at the fields, and they saw some soldiers coming out of the woods and then back into the woods. And they're like, okay, well, that's interesting. So they went to the park ranger office, and they were like, oh, hey, that's a great reenactment. You know, thanks for putting that, you know, that show on. And they're like, what show? There are no reenactment soldiers out there in the woods. So there's this, you know, there's a rumor or a legend of like a phantom troop, a phantom platoon, I guess you want to call it, in these woods. Oh, right, you're gonna walk down. So we cut these, I guess we can go through here and then, because earlier we went straight through here. So, and then we made it to the path. So, I mean, that has to take you around. So this has to go in a loop, I'm sure. So let's just do that. Check my phone, make sure my battery's not dying. Nope, it's good. But yeah, being out here at night isn't really that scary. Go animal straight ahead. Hey, little guy. Ooh. Oh, a possum? Oh, there's like a possum. Oh.
It is a possum.
Oh. Oh, yep, he went. Yeah, he went. Yeah, I see the weeds moving around. So these parks close at 10 p.m. It is 8:17 p.m. So we can be out here until 10. So luckily it's now September. Well, it's going to be October in like 3 days. So luckily it gets dark out pretty early now.
They continue along the triangular path while talking about local legends connected to Devil's Den and Little Round Top, where sightings of phantom soldiers are often reported. A possum and other distant wildlife are seen, confirming that the sounds and movement around them are natural, and all equipment continues working normally without any power loss or interference.
Already hearing noises, but whatever. So I'm going to turn the light off, and you guys won't see anything because we can't see anything because it's basically pitch black out here. But I'll show you. I mean, you'll hear everything, but we'll turn the lights off. Yeah, okay. So we can see the moon. That's it, and the sky a little bit.
I can see the path a tiny bit.
Kinda, yeah, you can, yeah. Not to the camera though, unfortunately. But we're gonna sit here in the darkness. And we're just going to listen. Listen to the bugs and the animals.
And whatever through that rock.
And whatever through that rock, yeah. I think this is the thing that fell from the tree. Yeah, even being out here in the pitch black, it really isn't that,
No, like I'm...
Lawrence and Jenny sit on large rocks and turn off all their lights, leaving themselves in complete darkness and focusing only on listening to the surroundings. Wind through the trees, insects, and distant animal calls fill the silence, but nothing unusual or unexplained occurs.
Touching my leg.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's a bug.
Lawrence briefly feels something brush against his leg, which causes a moment of concern before he realizes it is just a bug, with no other unusual sensations following. As they wrap up, he reflects that Triangular Field did not show strong or obvious paranormal activity during their visit, noting that despite its haunted reputation, the night stayed quiet, the equipment worked normally, and no clear anomalies were captured, while still acknowledging that experiences may differ depending on timing, conditions, or personal sensitivity. The video comes from ParaQuest UK, a UK-based paranormal investigation channel known for calm, respectful ghost hunts and real-time communication using tools like EMF meters, K2 devices, pendulums, and trigger objects. This footage was recorded on July 22, 2021, in Pluckley Woods, often called the Screaming Woods, in the United Kingdom.
The other side?
No.
really wants in the phone.
I've got the camera running everything, come on. Just think of the numbers.
I'm thinking of my legs. I've survived for the last 48 hours, not getting injured. I want to keep it that way when I get out.
All I see is your light at the camera. You've got your headlight on.
What am I going to do? Oh, right, yeah. Hang on.
Adam?
Yes.
I think your
That's it.
screen's just cracked some more.
Don't look at it.
Is it? Well, have you aimed it at
I
Ricky?
can't tell by looking at it, but I definitely heard a crunch.
Why are you shouting?
Oh, sorry.
Because I'm miles away, that's why.
Sorry, Adam.
What? I might sit on the log. Sit on the log.
We'll be your friends. Angry. Who's angry?
Can you still see the other bits?
Well, if I pan round to there, yeah.
I'll move along. Oh, I'm going to get my bum. This is not a good idea.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, give me those rocks.
On reflection, if I get pushed either way, I'm done. Marvellous, I've got no signal at all now.
Your meter's going.
My meter. Excellent.
See.
Okay, and I'd just like to remind any spirits, energies or entities that are here, we are out of the greatest respect for you. We'd just like to do a bit of communication, that's all. We are respectful, we mean you no harm. We are friendly. My name's Adam. If you like to communicate, if you like to show some communications, I'll have some devices sitting on this log. All they would do is light up, and one of them will make a sound. Nothing will hurt.
Adam Sin and the ParaQuest UK team carefully move through Pluckley Woods, dealing with thick mud and uneven ground that slows them down. They stop by a fallen log to set up a base point and begin placing their equipment. Adam explains their intentions, saying they are there respectfully and mean no harm. The woods are filled with natural sounds, but nothing unusual happens at first.
Just detection to tell us, give us a sign, give us some sort of indication that you'd want to come and talk to us. Okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to switch my K2 on, see if we can get any, can you see that?
Entity present.
Okay. Are there any entities that would like to step forward tonight? I'm going to give you the opportunity to do so now.
Continue.
Okay. I'm going to give you the opportunity to do so now, to come and talk with us. As I just said, we are friendly, we are respectful, even Ricky. And all we'd like to do is just to have a bit of communication, that's all we're asking. Alright, and as I said, my name is Adam. Okay, so if maybe you could tell me yours. I also have a little device on the log here. This will help for any communication. Okay. So if you want to give me a name of some description for this little box. Pardon?
Killer.
Killer. Have you got your pendulum tonight, Tina?
I do.
Wonderful, okay.
Died. Can you give me a name?
Okay, if there's any spirits here that would like to step forward and give us any sort of signs.
Can you give me a name?
I've got 3 of these little balls. And they light up when you touch them. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Good. They will light up when you touch them. Okay, so we're going to give you the opportunity tonight to come and give us some indications that you're willing to communicate with us.
Is that Dean? Is your name Dean?
The K2 meters and light-up trigger objects are switched on. Adam invites anything present to come forward and communicate. The devices react occasionally with brief lights and single activations, suggesting something may be there, but without any ongoing interaction.
Sounded like essence. Oh, essence.
Sounds like really?
Would anyone like to step forward? Is that your torch? Anyone that would like to step forward and come and give us an indication?
What date is it?
What date is it?
Might say can.
What is it today? 15th?
I don't know.
Yeah, 15th for May.
Yeah, 15th of May.
15th.
I was going to say 1974. 2000 and what?
2020, yeah, 2021 it is.
Thank you, 2021. What year are you from?
Any entities that are present also have a little device on this log that you can talk through. Actually, no, you won't, because that's the SLS. I wouldn't want to get anything. Let's try that. Okay, so I'd just like to remind you there is a device right in front of me. This will not hurt you in any way, shape or form. It's not harmful. It's just an aid of communication. Giving you any opportunity that you like to come forward and talk to us.
Heaven.
Heaven.
Would you like to go to heaven?
I thought heaven was a place on earth.
Short, unclear responses continues. Some signals seem to point toward animals, but it is not clear what they mean. The team tries to get clearer answers, but the communication stays broken and hard to understand.
If you're angry at one of us for being here, can you give us a sign?
Why are you angry? Always. Well, what do you mean by that?
What did it say, Adam?
Always.
Always angry.
Later on, the equipment begins showing signs of anger. Adam asks who is angry and what caused it. The mood shifts and feels heavier than before. He points out the mixed communication during the night, with unclear responses earlier and stronger signals later. The team stays respectful and leaves without clear answers, noting the woods felt uneasy again. In a disturbing video uploaded by Dawson Toller, the story begins in Elkmont, a preserved ghost town in the Appalachian Mountains, where Dawson admits he already feels uneasy. He explains that after residents were forced to leave, the government maintained parts of the town, while most buildings were removed by 2017. He plans to explore the remaining houses during the day, then return at night to see if any paranormal activity reveals itself.
We're in Elkmont, the Appalachian ghost town, and this place just has a bunch of houses. I believe there's 17 or 19 houses that they preserved. It used to be much bigger, but this is an entire ghost town that they kicked the residents out. They gave them options. They said, you can either sell it to us at a discount, and once you die, it's ours, or we can pay for it at the full price and you leave right now. Those were the only options. So we're gonna be walking around exploring some of these houses, and then when it gets dark out, we're gonna come in here and try to find out if there's any spirits roaming this abandoned ghost town within the Appalachian.
Dawson explores several of the houses, including the former servants' quarters, reflecting on the lives of the people who once lived and worked there.
Be like a cooking house, because back in the day, they would have houses separate for cooking and all of that, because in the like summer, you wouldn't want to heat your house, obviously, and they didn't have air conditioning. So they would have separate areas to cook and prepare food and everything. But that was mainly like rich people had the opportunity to do that. But this is like a little wood cabin area behind this house, and there's a back door that leads right here. So it makes me think that whoever lived here probably used this as a cooking house. And then there's another one that leads behind it. It says Colonel Townsend's servants' quarters. I mean, it's very small, but it has a bathroom and another little area back here, and then this larger space. So as long as there's one person living in here, or maybe even, a person and a child, it's not that bad. But I could see, people nowadays, they get these tiny houses that are smaller than this, and they put like 4 people in them. But that's by choice. And if it's a servant and not a, then, they had a choice. So maybe it wasn't so bad.
As night falls, Dawson begins his ghost hunt, starting with the oldest cabins. He sets up his equipment while describing an uneasy feeling in the air, admitting that he's actually more afraid of encountering real people or animals, like bears, than ghosts themselves.
Here we are, guys. We're in Elkmont, and we're heading to the first cabin. I'm super creeped out. It is just an entire town, completely empty. And the first spot that we're gonna go to is gonna be number 7. 7 and 5 are some of the oldest ones here. So I figured we would start out at one of the oldest ones and then move on from there. There is a freaky vibe. And I don't know if that's just because it's dark out and I'm alone, or if it's because there's ghosts. But I'm ready to find out. Here's 5. Let's go into 5 and give it a shot. We brought minimum equipment. It is literally just a voice recorder. We brought the spirit box, and we brought a REM pod. Let's do the polite thing. Can I come in? Let's give a good scope out. Oh, I didn't even realize that number 5 was the one that had the really cool backyard patio thing. I don't know if that was a trick of the light, but I'm not kidding. I swear I saw something. During review, I noticed what I saw was indeed not a trick of the light, but just a bug flying outside. Let's go over here and see what we got going. This just leads back. Okay. So perfect. We have the REM pod set up. Super sketchy, guys. I mean, let me tell you, like, I'm allowed to be here, but it's scary at the same time because, like, if a real person comes, that's probably going to be more scarier than if a ghost comes. But if there's anybody in here, people probably don't come and ask you guys very many questions. But I have a device right there on your fireplace, and if you walk up to it, it just lights up blue, and it lets me know that you're here with me.
A voice coming through his device, one that sounded familiar from earlier, terrifies Dawson and sends him running out of the ghost town. Shaken, he says he'll never return to the place again. On August 1st, 2025, the Nevada desert sets the stage for a long-awaited trip by Tyler from Independence Overland, known for remote overlanding and camping across the American West. This time, he and a friend head toward the edge of Area 51, guided by old reports, modern rumors, and a childhood curiosity that never faded. Out beneath vast, empty skies, they quickly realize the desert rarely leaves travelers completely alone.
Did you guys hear that?
That was a sonic boom from them testing aircraft.
Like I felt it in my chest. Like someone kicked me. You see the truck?
Yeah, that's one of the camo dudes.
That are watching, and we can't go past this sign.
Yeah, this isn't the gate I thought it was.
We have made it to the perimeter of Area 51, and this is Groom Lake Road. And if you look behind me, there's an F-150 sitting up on the hillside. And basically they just have people that wait to make sure nobody's crossing lines and stuff, because it does happen quite often. We're not looking to do anything like that. We're gonna respect all the boundaries. I'm not trying to do anything stupid here. We did hear a sonic boom. I'm hoping we don't hear any of those in the middle of the night. They're doing all sorts of testing out here, so who knows what we're gonna see or hear. I think now we're gonna get out here and try to find us a campsite.
It is funny how they just like nose in and just sit there and stare at you. It's like a weird intimidation thing.
As they neared Groom Lake Road, the scenery changed from open desert to a stark stretch defined by warning signs and deep silence. High on a distant ridge, they noticed white trucks parked in place, security personnel often called the camo dudes, watching without moving, their presence obvious even from afar. Tyler and his group stayed within public land boundaries, but the watchful eyes never shifted, and after nightfall, the desert began to reveal something even more unsettling.
Bright blue and red stationary lights were shining above these clouds right until I grabbed my camera. We could tell by the intensity of these lights that whatever it was relatively close, but none of us can see it with the naked eye. Zooming in on the footage, however, exposes two what looked to be triangular shaped craft, and these were making no noise and they were not moving.
The whole thing with this story is that it is obviously not created by us, but it doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't created here. I don't know what it is. I don't think anybody who's watching this video actually knows what it is.
As exciting as this spot has been, we want to see the main gate, so into the climate control of the trucks and on to our next destination, a place that we will absolutely, positively see an alien.
So yeah, we stopped at the Little Alien to eat, and they were not allowing filming inside. There's a bunch of signs everywhere. We're gonna make our way to the other gate.
Perhaps my mind was a little too adventurous when determining where the main gate might be, because our last option is straight down the widest and most maintained dirt road that we've come across. Seeing the main gate of one of the most secretive places in the United States, if not the entire world, was incredible to see. But with how locked off this place is, our time is better spent heading into the trails to see if we can set up for the night to observe the sky.
As darkness spread over Delamar, their cameras captured what was hard to see with the naked eye. Two colored lights hanging along the cloud line. The lights remained completely still, showing no drift or pulsing, as if fixed in place beyond the ridges. When zoomed in, the shape appeared triangular, softened by distance and showing no visible movement. Even the group's skeptics struggled to explain it, and the most unsettling moment was still waiting for them later in the night.
Direction was the base?
It's that way.
It started way over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like here, and it went like up, and then it stopped, and then it started moving this way.
Yeah, 90 degrees.
You light it up again with that laser?
Camping far from any town, they watched a single light shoot up above the horizon, stop, then change direction at a sharp right angle. Too sudden for an aircraft, and too deliberate to be drifting debris. It glided, paused, moved again, and eventually faded into the stars. When the desert fell quiet, Caleb admitted the experience had shifted his perspective, leaving everyone with more questions than answers. While checking his game cameras in a remote part of the woods in Washington state, a man discovered something deeply unsettling. One early morning photo seemed to show a young girl standing alone among the trees, and it immediately felt off. Thinking it could be a trick of the light, he took another photo with his phone, only to see the same eerie figure again. The area was isolated, and there was no reason for a child to be there by herself. As the images sank in, they became more disturbing, and when he searched the area, he found no sign of anyone at all. With his stomach in knots, he contacted the police, but the chilling question remains. If it was a little girl, where did she go? A man ventured into the forest, unease tightening its grip as fog closed in around him. Acting on instinct, he pulled out his phone and began recording. Almost immediately, he spotted a tall, dark figure gliding through the mist, silent and unmoving, as if watching him. As he pushed deeper into the trees, more shadowy shapes appeared, their forms blurred and constantly shifting. The sense of unseen eyes following him sent his heart pounding, and not wanting to discover what was hiding in the fog, he turned back and hurried out of the forest as fast as he could. A Reddit user shared a photo they took about 10 years ago while hiking at Old Man's Cave in Ohio. There's a figure in the top left corner that some people think looks like a really detailed face, while others say it's just another case of pareidolia. What do you think? The footage comes from Rick and his van, a UK-based van life channel that follows solo travel, behind-the-scenes film set locations, and moody woodland areas. Rick's videos focus on real-time exploration, mixing quiet moments with personal thoughts as he moves through unfamiliar places. This video was filmed on November 11th, 2025 in Bourne Woods, Farnham, United Kingdom.
Welcome back to the channel. Well, another weekend, another film set. It would appear that Hollywood are in town filming a film called, it's a period horror called Werewolf. Oh, Werewolf. We'll get into this a little bit later on about me and werewolves, but this film has got that guy in it, Defoe, who was in Platoon, and it is a period horror clearly about werewolves, and apparently in this woodland they have built a whole village, and filming is about to start. Now you guys are gonna have to give me some credit here because I am absolutely petrified of werewolves, a story which I'll get into a little bit later on, but the plan for today is to go and have a little wander up there, go and have a look at the film set, see if we can see any filming taking place. Hopefully we don't bump into a werewolf on the way, and then find a park up for tonight, get some dinner on, and then go for a midnight walk in the dark. Don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I really don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but later on I'll tell you the exact reason why I'm petrified and kind of believe in werewolves. But you can see all the signs there for the location, WW Cars, WW Crowd Cars, and that's obviously for Werewolf. So we're parked up, let's go for a wander, see what we can see. I've heard this film set's pretty epic, to be honest with you. Let's go and have a mooch. Let's go for a walk. It's a long walk to get there as well. So stick with me. This could be an interesting video. Right, so here we are in Bourne Woods. Good setting. How spooky does that look? Let's be honest. Already. So there's a security geezer just down there on the gate, just checking people as they come through. But apparently you're allowed to walk through here if you want to, on foot. So films that they filmed here in the past. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, I can't remember.
Rick reaches Bourne Woods to explore a film set being used for an upcoming werewolf movie. The area is large, with a full village built inside the forest, including a church and a graveyard. As he heads toward it, he notices security staff, warning signs, and muddy paths that make the place feel off limits and uncomfortable. He mentions the woods have been used in many famous films like Band of Brothers, Gladiator, and Jurassic World, and notes how familiar places can feel completely different when turned into something dark. The thick forest, quiet atmosphere, and realistic set pieces create a tense mood as he gets closer.
Bloody hell, look at this. They weren't wrong. Building the whole town. So you can see over there that they built this massive church with some kind of graveyard in it as well. That looks proper spooky, doesn't it? In the trees, let me show you. It's incredible what they can do, how they can make this look so different on the screen. I would love to come up here at night time and have a little wander around. I bet it looks really spooky at night. There's lots and lots of people around though. Don't know if we're allowed to film, but we're going to carry on until we're told not to. Oh my days, there is security everywhere. Just down there. Cannot go any further. Health and safety, because there's lots of moving vehicles and stuff like that. They've got forklifts and everything. Plus it's about that thick in mud. There's quite the operation going on. So there you go, the film is due for release on the 25th of December 2026. So if any of you watching this, and then you're going to watch the film, you've seen behind the scenes a little bit.
He moves carefully toward the village and church, filming the graveyard and nearby props. The set looks realistic, with aged stonework and layouts that fit naturally into the forest. Security and restricted areas keep him at a distance, and the silence makes the place feel unsettling.
Is that a skinned werewolf?
Rick comes across a skinned werewolf prop hanging from a tree, and it immediately throws him off. He mentions that werewolves have always scared him, and seeing something like that alone in the woods hits harder than expected.
What the hell? I didn't like that at all. I'm going back. Going back. Didn't like that at all. Did not like that at all.
Later that night, Rick steps out of the van for a short walk, but heavy rain, mist, and darkness quickly make it hard to see. The tension rises fast, and he decides to head back to the van instead of pushing on. He explains that his fear of werewolves goes back to a childhood camp prank involving a costume, which still affects him. Even though the film set is fictional and controlled, the dark woods, isolation, and realistic props are enough to trigger real fear. He reflects on how atmosphere alone can cause genuine fear, even when there is no actual danger. The video ends with Rick praising Bourne Woods as a great filming location, while noting how easily familiar places can feel disturbing when they are changed. Tucker Upper is known for exploring forgotten places and looking for unusual finds like sunken objects, lost gear, and discarded items. But during a routine filming day in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, he came across something far more serious: a car fully submerged in a lake, a discovery that would lead to an unexpected police response.
How did a car get in here? You are absolutely kidding me that I just found this. There's no way. Super gnarly story. Basically, I was out in the woods yesterday at this lake, and I stumbled upon the craziest thing I ever seen just in a lake in the Pine Barrens in my life.
The video opens with Tucker explaining the strange discovery he made the day before: a car sitting beneath clear water with its shape barely visible. He tells viewers that he planned to return to take a closer look.
Here we are today at this lake in the Pine Barrens. As you can see, it's pretty early in the day, just from the sun behind me. But check this lake out, right? To be honest, you can't even see anything weird going on right now. But this is probably the craziest thing I've ever stumbled upon across, just out filming. And literally yesterday I came here. I honestly have no idea why I came up to here. I just kind of walked up to the lake here, and what do I see? There is a car completely submerged in the lake.
When he returns, the car is exactly where he left it, undisturbed and with the license plate still attached. That detail stands out to him, since if the car had been dumped on purpose, keeping the plate on would not make sense.
I have to report it, like I can't just leave it here without saying anything. That's crazy. Not only is it just suspicious as it's a full-blown environmental hazard. You literally can't see it at all right now. I can just see the license plate because I know where it is. Suspicious to me though that if somebody accidentally did this, it's just suspicious to me that anybody would leave a license plate on a car that they ditched in a lake in the Pine Barrens, where this is like a protected area too. So like, they're definitely gonna get charged with like abandonment. Probably pay a hefty fine, honestly. But...
Communication.
Hey, how are you? So there's like a lake where it meets the other road. They call it
911, where's emergency?
Hey, this is not an emergency. I was told to call from EHT dispatcher so that they could get the location of where I am, basically. Yesterday, and I was literally just walking in the woods, and I was filming in the lake, and I saw a car in the lake, literally. I had to report it, though. There's nothing else I can do. I'm just trying to do the right thing.
Realizing how serious the situation was, Tucker contacted the police, and things escalated quickly. Before long, divers, officers, and even a crane truck were on site, turning his accidental discovery into a full-scale operation.
This is unreal. Holy sh**. I didn't expect this many people to come here.
I didn't either.
They got serious, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're gonna have Battalinis pull it out.
Is that the towing company?
Yeah.
So this is not the first time this happened.
No.
Obviously that was the first police officer that was on the scene when I first found the car. And then now there's like 70 people here. And they're gonna bring a full-blown crane truck back here. I'm just gonna stay off to the side and try and get some footage. But basically the police officer just said stay out of the way. Obviously still in the water. And there's about 60 people. This is a freaking huge operation. This is a massive, really, really big.
Standing to the side, Tucker records the scene, surprised at how quickly it became something much bigger than a simple abandoned car, as authorities clearly treated it as a serious situation. He films the final moments as crews slowly lift the car out of the water. The video comes from Bigfoot Files, a paranormal wilderness channel that focuses on Sasquatch scouting hikes and observing the environment in areas connected to eyewitness sightings and BFRO reports. This footage was recorded on January 5th, 2026, in Icehouse Canyon within the Cucamonga Wilderness near Mount Baldy, California.
It is incredibly quiet through here. It made me stop. This stretch of trail is freaking me out right now. So the Sunset Peak Trail, it's just a little bit further down the mountain than I actually wanted to go. I want to stay right here in the middle of all the action. So that means it was the Icehouse Canyon Trail towards Cucamonga Peak. Super popular trail. The parking lot is packed. I'm lucky I even found a spot. It does put you out there in a canyon. Anyways, let's get out there. Yep, here we go, guys. Getting started on the trail here. I couldn't shoot too much at the entrance right there because there was a group of people. I don't know what's up with these cabins that are right here at like a trailhead. Does somebody live there? Is that like the gatekeeper? I have to wonder if you've been living there. I bet that you have heard some things in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Got some flowing water through here. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Headed away from the creek. Jesus. Grasshopper was so loud I thought it was a rattlesnake or locust or whatever it is. It scared me.
The hike starts on a popular trail with a full parking lot and other hikers around, but the hiker quickly notices how unusually quiet the canyon feels. He comments on the lack of normal background sounds, and as the trail narrows and trees and running water close in, birds and wildlife remain absent. A sudden insect sound briefly startles him, and by the end of these early moments, the silence feels unsettling enough that he slows down and keeps stopping to listen.
Oh guys, look at this right here. It's like this grove of trees. This. Oh shit. Did I just find a portal? Okay. I'm getting really weird vibes from this right here. And you cannot tell me that these 3 trees do not form a portal. Look at these right here. There's 3 massive redwoods and then 3 smaller ones right in front of it. That's crazy. So I'm not gonna lie, I did walk right through there, and as far as I know, I'm in the same dimension that I was in. I'm guessing if that is a portal, that it's just not activated. I mean, it would have to be activated, right? I don't know why.
When he reaches a grove of trees, the hiker stops again, feeling a strong sense of discomfort as he carefully scans the area. Nothing visible happens, but the feeling is intense enough that he pauses before moving on.
A little bit. Right around this area right here with this tree up here. I thought I heard something. I started to get tingles all over.
Further into the canyon, he feels tingling sensations and becomes more alert, listening closely as he struggles to tell whether the faint sounds around him are normal wildlife or something else.
I had to stop. I was walking when it went off, and then I stopped. I barely heard the end of it. I don't know what it was.
A loud, unfamiliar call suddenly echoes through the canyon, strong enough to make him stop mid-walk.
All through the canyon right here. Gonna freak out some hikers. Whoop! Whoop! Got quiet. Got real quiet right now. It got really quiet right now.
After he reaches a saddle and makes a sound that echoes through the canyon, the area suddenly goes completely silent.
It is incredibly quiet through here. It stopped. It made me stop. All right, I'm gonna keep moving That kind of tripped me out right there. I noticed that all I was hearing was the crunching of my feet. And so I stopped. And that's when I noticed it. I heard what I thought were footsteps behind me, coming up behind me on the trail. And I didn't turn around right away. I was kind of doing something. And then I turned around and there was nothing there. But I heard like clear as day footsteps, like somebody coming up the trail. Or so that's what I thought.
As the light starts to fade, he hears what seems like distinct footsteps approaching from behind, but when he looks back, no one is there, and the sound does not return. The sense of being followed lingers as he exits the canyon, and later, he explains the hike was a scouting trip inspired by a recent BFRO Sasquatch report in the Mount Baldy area. The video is from Joey Official, a UK-based urban explorer and paranormal investigator known for doing solo, late-night investigations at reportedly haunted locations. His style is very first-person, relying on real-time reactions and spirit communication apps while he is alone on site. This footage was recorded on March 4th, 2020 at the abandoned zoo area in Griffith Park, Los Angeles, United States.
I'm already terrified. I'm gonna use the Necrophonic app. Some of you guys don't like it. Some of you guys don't believe in it, but it does work. For me at least. Go ahead and try it for yourself. This is the app. It's like $10. We're gonna start off by asking questions like always. Guys, if you do enjoy these type of videos, go ahead and smash the like button like right now. I'm about to shiver. Alright, let's start. Is there anybody here with me now? David? Who's David? What is your name? That's a Joey. Are you here with me now? Are you here with me now? What color am I wearing?
Joey arrives alone at the abandoned zoo area in Griffith Park during heavy rain, trying to find a specific picnic table and nearby camping spot linked to reported paranormal activity. With poor visibility and no one else around, he struggles to recognize landmarks, keeps checking his surroundings, and comments on how isolated the area feels as he sets up his camera and a spirit communication app, noting that a disturbing dream from earlier in the evening is still on his mind as he prepares to begin contact.
Can you see me? What color am I wearing? If you can see me. What? I said black. Okay. How many are you with me? How many?
Joey begins asking questions through the app to see if anything is present, and the responses he gets suggest awareness and intelligence. When he asks if they can see him, the replies seem relevant enough to make him visibly uncomfortable.
Now, 5. That was a loud 5. 5. 10. Am I safe here? Am I safe here?
The tone shifts suddenly when the app indicates multiple spirits nearby and delivers a clear warning for him to leave, which makes Joey panic slightly and become much more cautious.
Way too scary to use by yourself. Way too scary, guys. Like, wow, especially in the middle of Los Angeles abandoned zoo. This place is terrifying. I'm not using that app no more. I keep getting these creepy little voices. My camera's soaked and wet. I hope it works by tomorrow. I hope I can upload this video. This video is not over, guys. This video is not over. Guys, it's been about 15 minutes since the last clip, and I think I'm lost. I can't find a way out of this place. I have no cell phone reception. I'm low on gas, so hopefully I can make it.
Strange voices keep coming through the app, so Joey turns it off, saying it does not feel safe to use it alone in such an isolated place. The rain keeps soaking his equipment, adding to the sense of discomfort and urgency.
And if I do, I will continue this investigation. But till then, I hope I can leave this place. Guys, another quick update. Freeway ramps are closed, as you can see. That's one, that's the exit, that's the entrance right next to it. So that's a wrong way. I can't go that way. This is the only way I can go, or the place that I came from. And I'm legit terrified right now because I don't have cell phone reception. If I had cell phone reception, I would not panic. But I'm panicking right now. What are these yellow lights? It's like for me to slow down. I will pick up the vlog as soon as I can exit. Oh my god, finally, look. One of the side was closed. I got so scared because from far away you look like both of them were closed. I was about to say, how am I getting out? It literally took me 20-25 minutes just to exit that park.
As he tries to leave, Joey gets disoriented with no phone signal, blocked paths, and low fuel, making it hard to find his way out of the park. It takes about 20 to 25 minutes to reach the correct exit, leaving him clearly shaken, and once outside, he reflects that the fear came not just from the app's responses, but from being alone in a huge, maze-like area with bad weather, no signal, and few options if something went wrong. The footage is from Blackburn Drifter, a UK-based exploration creator who visits remote historical landmarks, stone formations, and rural locations across Britain. His videos are typically filmed solo on location, with direct commentary and a consistent habit of challenging common explanations, tied to ancient construction and local legends. This video was recorded on January 6, 2026, at Druid's Temple near Masham in North Yorkshire, England.
Another big explorer. Nice rocks. Another big rock pile here. And that's what I'm here to show you. Piles of rock. Let's look at this. I'm at the Druid's Temple, just outside a place called Masham in Yorkshire. Look at the size of that. Jeez. That's 10 foot across. There's a few tons in weight there. How did they get that up there? Bloody hell, beats me. Anyway, the guy who owned the land back in the late 1700s, early 1800s, was a guy called William Danby. And there's a lot of local unemployment in the area, so he employed a lot of local people. He paid him £1 a week, which is equivalent to 12 pence nowadays, and he got him to build this. Quarry this stone, drag it all down here and bring it here to build this crazy construction. And look, as soon as I walked in, I've noticed this. Look, there's a panel and it's got screw holes. Yeah, screw holes. So is that a repurposed piece of stone? Was that in a building at some point? I don't know. I really don't know, but that's interesting. And then you've got this stone here. See how that's covered in lichen? Well, I climbed up the top of there and had a look, and it's covered completely in lichen. Single cell organisms. Oldest living thing on earth. And believe me, that takes hundreds if not thousands of years to get like that, as that does.
The exploration starts with Blackburn Drifter entering Druid's temple and pointing out the massive scale of the stone formations, with large stacks of rocks dominating the site, many of them several feet across and extremely heavy. As he walks through the structure, he explains the accepted history that it was built in the late 1700s or early 1800s by order of landowner William Danby to create work during local unemployment. But he repeatedly questions how stones of that size could have been quarried, moved, and placed by hand using the tools available at the time.
I'm going to show you something. Whether you believe me or not, that's up to you. But 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. See lots of lines going through it. This side's the same. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4. Same again there. 1, 2, 3, 4. All that is, that's petrified wood. Petrified wood.
Blackburn Drifter stops beside a large, square block and draws attention to the visible horizontal lines running through it. He counts several distinct layers and suggests that, in his opinion, the material appears closer to petrified wood than standard stone, asking viewers to closely examine the texture and alignment, and noting that it does not seem to behave like ordinary rock.
Massive. Monoliths. Look, tons in weight. And again, I'm going to show you something. You see all them? You can see them. There's loads of fibres up there. Yeah, that's a big lump of petrified wood. A big lump.
Using a torch, he points out fibrous-looking textures near the top of one of the tallest stones, keeping the camera focused on the surface as he again questions whether it could be petrified wood. He stresses the massive size and weight of the block, adding that standing it upright would have required more than basic manual effort.
A lot of folklore as well surrounding this place, of mysterious goings-on, and even devil worship, believe it or not.
He briefly turns to local folklore, mentioning long-standing stories linked to Druid's temple, including claims of strange activity and supposed devil worship. He makes it clear these are legends, not proven events, but notes that they have helped shape the site's eerie reputation over time.
Cave is built at the back. If you can see this quite, that's better, isn't it? That's better. There's a massive flat slabs of stone there. Massive. And this crazy wall.
He enters a small cave-like chamber at the back of the structure, where flat stone slabs form the walls and a low ceiling, creating a tight space lit only by his torch. Nothing paranormal occurs, but the heavy stone and enclosed layout feel unsettling, and the visit ends with curiosity rather than fear, leaving questions about how Druid's temple was constructed and whether the accepted explanation fully accounts for it. Morris from the channel Morris's Paranormal Adventures, Adake, arrived at Hilton Colliery in the United Kingdom, near an abandoned mining site tied to a disaster in the early 1900s. He planned to explore the area and set up camp, but shortly after arriving, he heard something that made it clear he was not alone.
See the walk? So I put the bits in for you on the walk. And I am sweating. Sounds like there's people already here. Somebody's living here. I don't think this is a good idea, you know. Look at that. Right guys, it's things like this that get me a little bit worried now. Because it's not a really big area, you see. But I'm not too sure about that now. The thing is, right behind this woods is a big nut house, what they call a nut house, which has got loads of people who are, should I say, not well,
and a lot of them seem to, over the years, have escaped. Now, I don't want to be stuck in here with somebody like that. That's crazy, that though. I don't feel safe here. I feel like there's people here watching me. I really don't know what to do, guys. I don't know whether the place that I was going to camp. As I was crossing the field, I was on my camera, I was on my phone as well. I heard two people, one started laughing and one started coughing. Now, I sat in them woods, guys, for an hour in them bushes on my own, having a drink and eating some snacks and that. So whether they're drug addicts, whether they're alcoholics or hostile people, I don't really know what they are. This is a crazy, crazy place. I will be back though, guys. I'm going to come back tomorrow.
He chose to leave and come back later that day. When he returned, he set up camp near the old mine shafts, and not long after, he started hearing footsteps around him.
Because this is, like I said, not safe. I don't know who's living up here, what they're doing up here. Wow, sure I saw some shadows then. As soon as it said that, I heard cracking in the bushes at the back. Can't believe how light it looks on this camera, guys. $11 o'clock. I can hear footsteps. I put the spirit talker on the floor here. Guys, I'm getting eaten by midges.
They found my body.
They found my body. They found my body. Was it here where they found your body? In this exact spot? Can you tell me your name? Is your name on the memorial down the road?
Then, his spirit communication device began giving disturbing messages.
Stuart, can you come and stand on the shafts for me, mate? Maybe switch the lantern on and off. Would you do that?
Civil.
Civil? Yeah, I'm civil, mate. I'm not here for anything else. Just to find out why you're still here. I know you had a bad accident, but you've not been able to cross over, maybe? Seriously, these midges are getting to me, guys. Maybe I'll Hello? Guys, I'm not trying to scare myself. It's scary enough as it is. You can probably understand that. But I did promise you I'd come back and get you some paranormal. But with them people as well, guys, I'm terrified. Guys, I think somebody should grab my camera. I can hear people behind me. Look, I'm not here to be scared or anything like that. I don't want you to scare me, right? Literally just want to find out why you're stuck here.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Pain.
Pain?
The more time he spent there and interacted with the device, the stronger the sense became that he was not alone.
So I'm going to leave now. And is there anything you'd like to say before I leave on the machine? Please do so. Jack, if you're here.
I'm feeling tired.
Feeling tired. This could be residual where they're getting weak, guys, from the accident. Right, I'm going to let you go then. Don't want to disturb you anymore. I'm going to pack my stuff up and go now. I appreciate you talking to me, I really do. Thank you so much. Hopefully one day we can talk again when you're not as tired. But for now, I'll let you go. So guys, he's still going. He's telling me to get out of here, and they like the dark and stuff. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna get out of here now. Because Spirit Talker was going crazy saying get out and stuff, so. And saying they was tired and things like that. I don't want to be disturbing any spirits if they don't want to chat, guys. I'm done now. I did my adventure. I explored.
In the end, he decided to leave, realizing it was too risky to stay alone in a place like that. The video comes from Sydney and was recorded on April 7th, 2024 at Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary and a nearby forest campsite in Tennessee, United States.
For that, so I'm just gonna go see it. Fly my drone, like, I don't know, film some things maybe. And then the spot I will be camping at is like 30 minutes from there in the direction that I'm going anyways for tomorrow. So I have to go get some gas and then I'll be on my way. Okay.
Sydney starts by driving toward Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, a closed prison known for its violent past, explaining that she does not plan to go inside or take a tour, but will observe from outside and possibly use a drone. The drive feels isolated, with narrow, poorly marked roads leading deeper into rural Tennessee, and as she gets closer, she comments on how cut off the area feels. When the prison comes into view, she is unsure how close she will be able to get because of fencing and restricted access.
Yeah, okay, there's a gate here. Dangerous since 1896. I'm gonna put these together, or you know what I mean, get it together, and I'm gonna go fly. I can't believe the sign at the front was like dangerous ground. Apparently like 10,000 people have died here, supposedly. And they only have like 3 fences because like part of like the area where they kept, you know, out back where they could like go play or whatever, it's like, you know, the mountain is like the fence. There's like a rock wall, pretty sure. And then the only other thing I know about it is that Martin Luther King's assassin was here, and he escaped from this place. That is crazy.
Sydney pulls up near the main gate of Brushy Mountain Penitentiary, where a sign stating "Dangerous since 1896" immediately creates an ominous tone. She talks about the prison's brutal past, the deaths connected to it, and how the surrounding mountain once acted as a natural barrier that made escape extremely difficult. She notes the unusual design of the prison, pointing out that it resembles an upside-down cross, and mentions its history of appearing on paranormal TV shows, as well as its connection to the incarceration of Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassin. Even though she never goes inside, the area feels dark and oppressive.
Fact that I made a friend already. Like, she's basically the same age as me, like just graduated college. Going on a trip to the national parks, which is so wild to me. It's not like that wild, but it's like, she said she's been doing it for 4 months, and today was the second time she's ever like talked to somebody like that before at a campsite. She was like, this doesn't happen. She was like, you don't understand. And she was like, it's so special, but it was your first night too, which is true. It's wild. So she was just giving me like all these tips and stuff. I'm going to put my PJs on and call it a night, but It's been such a good day, and I made a friend. Another solo female traveler doing the exact same thing as me. Like, that is wild. So
good morning. I just woke up. I actually did not sleep the best.
Later that night, Sydney arrives at a remote forest campsite alone, and as darkness sets in, the isolation makes her uneasy and sleep difficult, with repeated nightmares until daylight returns. A brief conversation with another solo camper eases the tension temporarily, but once alone again, the unease comes back. While nothing paranormal happens, the experience is shaped by isolation and vulnerability. By morning, she reflects on the emotional weight of the experience, and the video ends with the idea that places like Brushy Mountain and the surrounding wilderness require caution, awareness, and respect. The footage is from Lawson Lindsay, a US-based fishing and outdoor channel that follows solo fishing trips in remote waters. His videos focus on real-time decisions and moving through areas where wildlife is common. This video was recorded on April 6th, 2021 in Florida, United States.
Thankful for wild places that still exist, out there calling for adventure for those who wish to seek it. This river means a lot to me. It's where I cut my teeth as a kid and really learned the basics of fishing, and it feels good to return. But not always for the faint of heart. Long paddles, hot sun, pouring down rain, snakes, spiders, and alligators. Get the frick out of here, dude!
It's supposed to rain on us all morning, but I just couldn't stop myself from coming out and exploring today. This place means a lot to me where we're fishing.
Lawson reflects on his history with the river, explaining that it is where he learned to fish as a child. He sets out alone on a paddleboard, aware of the challenges like long distances, heat, rain, and wildlife such as snakes and alligators. Despite the chance of rain, things feel calm as he heads into the backwaters. The river is quiet and isolated, leaving him completely alone with help far away.
Snook. No way, that was a snook, 1000%. Saw him come up and eat it. I'm rolled right over top of him. No chance he eats now, but...
Early on, a snook bites his lure, surfaces for a moment, then slips free, showing both the life in the river and how unpredictable the fishing can be.
Oh, huge! That might be a tarpon. There it is. I think it's a snook. Yeah, it's a snook. Nice. Beautiful. In the downpour. Trying to keep an eye peeled, make sure there's no big gators around me. Think we're clear. This is a great snook, man, for a backwater.
Heavy rain starts pouring, soaking Lawson and his gear. Even in the downpour, he hooks and lands a big snook, staying alert and watching the water for alligators while balancing on his paddleboard.
Alligator, you scared the piss out of me. Get out of here. Oh. Hey. Beat it, son. Holy crap. You are ready to fight. Get the frick out of here, dude. Oh, that scared the piss out of me. I'm so thankful that it's like a 7-footer and not an 11-footer. Bro, he is trying to square up. Hey! You don't give a rat. I swear to God, if you bite my paddleboard, I'll be pissed. I don't want to turn my back on this thing. Get out of here, you rat. Jeez Louise. Oh, he's swimming right in front of me. Come on. I'm going to try to cover some ground real quick. Wait, get underneath those branches. What? What a moment. What a moment. Oh, I'll get your legs shaking, heart pumping. Honestly, I'd be happier to be in any vessel other than a paddleboard to be dealing with that thing. Really, that's
it was probably like an 8-foot alligator. The only reason he was being so aggressive is because he felt cornered, because I came around that bend and maybe scared him a little bit. And, you know, he didn't have anywhere to go. He'd have to turn his back and climb up the bank. So he definitely just felt kind of threatened by me. And the thing about it, though, is like if I turn my back to him and just like paddle really fast, he's either going to leave me alone because he's like, okay, it's not a threat anymore, or he's going to see me running with my back turned from him and try to bite the back end.
Without warning, a large alligator, about 7 to 8 feet long, rushes straight toward him. Lawson instantly stops fishing and focuses on staying safe, slowly moving his board and keeping his distance without sudden moves. He talks through what is happening as it unfolds, explaining the gator's behavior and how he positions himself to avoid setting it off.
Snook just rolled through the middle of all those branches. That was unbelievably cool. Oh, I can see the tail of something sticking out here, and I was curious what it is. It's a big old long-nosed gar. Very cool. Oh, so much snapper and bass on me. Holy crap, that was insane. I've never seen something like that in my entire life. I had, hit a tree. I had a largemouth and 2 snapper following my line. What? How bizarre is that? Just kind of dawned on me that I haven't orchestrated a pickup or anything like that, and I've gone out quite far, so I think I need to turn around here and start paddling back, and we'll fish our way back. It's been a mad day, man. Oh. 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 Oh, that was a tarpon. That was a tarpon. That is snuff. Hello, friend.
After putting space between himself and the alligator, Lawson keeps fishing farther upriver. Several species, including snook, largemouth bass, gair, and snapper, start chasing his line at the same time, making things chaotic and unpredictable. At the end of the trip, he looks back on the day, the heavy rain, good catches, and the close call with the alligator. Despite the effort and danger, he says he is grateful for experiencing the river in its natural state. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.